Hey, this is Brown Girl. Hashtag we got this with
Author Pamela J.
and Miss LT on Sador Radio, the station that's more than music. We're here with Javon Banks, aka Vaughn
From Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Woo!
Recently released, telling us his amazing story. Our topic today is relationships, which he fits right in because he married the love of his life while he was incarcerated. Before we went on our commercial break, he was letting us know. So she said yes. What happened after that? How long before, you said I do from the she said yes?
Again, living a criminal lifestyle had its benefits. It gets you into certain things. So I was, as the youth would say these days, I was sort of loopy. So I was able to.
We don't understand Ebonics. Define what's loopy.
Okay, I believe loopy is like saying that you're able to make moves. You're able to do things that a lot of people can't do.
Oh,
so
we're loopy.
Yeah, that's a fact. We're all loopy.
I'm loopy.
So once my proposal was accepted, I had a few conversations with the right people, and my marriage date was pushed up. I want to say probably about 30 days after she accepted.
Nice.
Yes.
So it wasn't a long engagement.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, very nice.
Not at all.
What was the rush?
Again, I understand this life, me being in prison, and I understood that I did have a 23 to life sentence that I had to do. For those of y'all who don't know, 23 to life sentences, I would have to do a minimum of 23 years before I go to the parole board. Having a life on the end of that means that the parole board can continuously deny me parole. And I didn't know what it was going to be for me, but I just know I was selfish. I wanted her to be there with me. So that was part of me putting a rush on it. And I know, understand that, just by us being married didn't mean that she wouldn't, deviate or just run away from us. But in my mind, I felt like she would be more there committed. More for me, more committed to me as a wife than she was as a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. So she could just walk away. Now she can't just walk away. There needs to be some paperwork up in this.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
You can still walk away with paper.
I mean,
right away.
But she's
relocate.
Not, no, you can, but she's not one of those type of individuals. She's very
a woman of her
family oriented.
She took that vow seriously.
Exactly.
Which everyone supposed to.
You're in prison doesn't mean you don't take your vows seriously.
Well, a lot don't.
A lot outside of prison.
You're right. So it doesn't matter if you're in prison or not. People's, just defense, but that was good.
I mean, again, that's all in, understanding your meat. Like I said, I knew her for 30 years plus, so I knew how family oriented she was. And this is why I made the decision, you know what? I got her, let me lock her in. So
you trapped her. Oh.
Yeah, I trapped her. Yeah.
I mean, it works both ways,
the tides have changed.
Yes.
The tides have changed. Okay, he was like, "I'm gonna lock this down." What bear claw? Locked it. Wow. Yes. So, how long into your bid before the I do's, popped off?
Again, that was a very long time. We actually got married in 2017.
Recently.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
okay.
That was actually 22 years into my prison term.
Oh, so you dated for how long while incarcerated?
With her off and on the whole entire prison.
The whole entire prison.
Wow.
And I mean, and it was actually before that, like I said.
From
We were checking.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's nice that you met your soulmate at such a young age. You're lucky. You guys don't know how lucky you are.
Yeah, I could say it's luck. I was gonna say it's not luck, but it has to be luck.
Yeah, there's something behind that.
I would like to say blessed.
Okay, you can
That's
say
a better term. Yes.
You can say that.
That's a better term.
But to have someone that really stick by your side for 24 years while you're not with them, like I said, touching and holding and actually building like a physical and emotional life together. That's a good thing.
Emotional. Yeah, you're building emotional and intimacy without the physical. So I think the relationship is even more deeper because you're not. When you say you're not physical yet, you gotta get them to. You gotta get to know them on a mental. You gotta be intimacy and just get to know them on a Oh, thank you. Somebody said something. Oh, you gotta get to know them on a different level. So the relationship, I think, is more meaningful because you're getting to know them without the physical. So once you do get the physical, you already got the emotional, and it's crazy. It's sick. It's like wow. So
24 years of no physical.
But I'm saying when they finally did, it probably was amazing because they were already close.
No, I'm not knocking the amazingness. I believe it. It better have been amazing. It was 24 years working up to. But
Right, talk. They don't hear that.
No, because y'all gonna come at me because okay. So look, like 24 years or even 20 years. How about 10 years of no? I gotta.
It can be done.
Okay, not with you and with her and with him and Mrs. KK. Not with me. I'm sitting on somebody's face.
Okay, thank you for that.
I told you I wasn't gonna elaborate.
She did say that.
I did,
and
we
will not push her.
Don't.
She's right. She said it.
I warned you. I gave a disclosure. You sure you want me to?
I'm just saying, but their relationship is if you don't know the person outside of prison and you met them in the prison, but in their case they knew each other beforehand, but they got
even worse. They knew what it was like.
They got to
and had to wait for it. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry.
No, actually, there was none of that before I went to prison.
Oh, nice. Not even no dry nothing.
Girl,
what? What? Yeah, I get tired of them trying to control my mouth.
I'm trying to control it. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, what? I want to know.
Okay, so like I said, being that you was incarcerated and you said I do, and you got to know your wife on a more mental and intimacy and all of that before the physical. The first time y'all made love, how was it?
She's still there.
That's a lot of pent up energy. It was amazing. It was amazing.
She's still there. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not. She's okay, but I'm just saying for you, how was it? Was it emotional? Was it just damn? I'm just glad I'm just doing it, or was it?
Or I'm tearing this.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Was it love? Was it intimacy? Was it how was it?
I don't think there was a just I'm glad I'm doing it situation.
Right.
I think it was that love that really is with a lot of emotions involved with it.
You got something to say over there? No. Come on, talk. Talk to us. Studio, come on, talk.
It's the first day of being home, so there's a lot of excitement going on.
He watching things move that he ain't seen move like that before. It moves.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It moves differently when it's outside.
A lot of stuff going on. Okay.
I think especially for me, what made it I guess a little bit more special for me because what happened was my wife's birthday is October 29th.
Okay.
I got released from prison October 28th.
Oh, wow.
You were a birthday present.
Exactly. But thanks to one of my good friends that's in the audience right now, we was able to finagle me being home for the whole October 28th without her knowing. And at 12 o'clock, I had him call and tell her,
that's nice.
Open your door. I sent somebody with a birthday present for you.
And
so when she opened her door, it was like,
I would have cried my soul out.
I would have fainted. I would have passed right out. All that oxygen would have left my brain, and
that was amazing. That is a beautiful. That's a great birthday present. Oh, I would have cried and cried some more, and I'm gonna cry right now. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, my heart is padded. That's nice.
Black love. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And you said it to the only bright birds because I'm
Yeah,
excited.
we a bird. We birds.
I'm
We
excited.
birds.
That's
Oh,
romantic.
that was so nice. Did she
And
cry?
your boys helped you.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. No.
Why
It's all
not?
right for you to cry.
No,
It's
listen,
okay.
I
I
know.
know you a
Honestly,
gangster and all that, but I think you can.
Listen,
still
I understand.
Some
cry.
emotions didn't
I
make it
understand.
share one. You just don't want
Nah,
to tell.
nah.
He just don't want to tell us. He did.
I'm not afraid to cry.
You not?
That's nice. Oh, that was so beautiful.
That is-
That
that
was
was
nice. That's a beautiful. I would never forget that birthday present if that was.
How hard was that for you though to
Like, I need to
wait
see
that
her
whole
right now
day?
for
Yeah.
You know, I spent that day with my son, so it was a little difficult. But you know, having that time with my child, you know, my firstborn child, it was like, okay,
That was
you know, that it
awesome.
made it somewhat more easier
very
to do.
bearable.
You know,
because you distracted yourself with someone you love just as
Exactly. You know,
But
he's
that
taking,
was amazing.
he's taking me to different places that I've never experienced and things of that nature. So that kind of made the day go fast. And then again, I'm in contact with friends, and you know, they helping a lot. I have my sister on it. You know,
Like,
everybody
I'm
knew
glad
I was
nobody
home.
told. I'm glad
Except for
nobody
her.
told. Good.
Did
So
you have
you-
a present besides you?
No, I not.
Yeah, he was
no
surprised. He didn't
chocolate.
need that,
No chocolate.
He
No.
didn't need
No
none of that.
pineapples to
He
eat off of
didn't
her
need none of
hand.
I was the chocolate.
Oh, all right now. Okay. Stand up.
90% cocoa. 90% cocoa. He said, that's it. I got a lollipop.
Toya.
I'm sorry.
We ain't gonna be invited back. man.
They always gonna come back. The little lady like, I want to come here every Sunday. That's the business is heavy.
I'm dead.
Oh man.
Oh my.
Oh, this has been so awesome. I'm so happy. So now, so y'all anniversary is when? So this will be the first one. This is gonna be
That's so
the
nice.
are you planning something special?
I'm
Just
just
to be with her. That's
it's a little too soon to be planning something right now. This is January.
No, you want to plan right? You gotta plan. Tell them, G.
No.
The audience know
Uh-uh.
if you want it right. Plan it. Get your ducks in a row. How long did you plan her little surprise? Her
I
birthday
didn't
present.
have long to plan that out because you know, like again with the prison system, I went through 3 different parole boards because like I said, I did 24 years, but I was sentenced to 23 to life. So the first time I went to the parole board, they denied me parole. So I had to jump through some hoops and get a de novo hearing, which is a reversal, meaning they had to give me another hearing. At my second hearing, they denied me once again. So I had to, fight that again, and they gave me another de novo. So when I went to my third board, they granted me release, and my release was like 30 days later. But again, me being wavy, I was able to get it done in 20-something days, opposed to having me doing a whole 30 days. So she was expected for me to come home on November 4th, when I actually came home a whole week earlier.
Wow.
And so, that was like instantaneously thought about right there on the spot. Like, you know what, tomorrow's her birthday. Don't nobody tell her that I'm coming home.
That's
So-
nice. But but then sometimes they got knuckleheads that be like, don't tell them I told you. You know how people
Oh,
do
no,
stuff.
nobody.
That's good. That's
So
good.
while I was researching you, I came across something that said, and you can't believe everything you read. That's why I want to know from you that D.A. Gonzalez had something to do with your release. Is that factual?
Eric Gonzalez, he played a major part in me being released because, once he got wind of my situation, like I said, I had to, I went in front of the parole board in June 2018, and then I went in front of them again in January 2019. My team of lawyers, they decided to reach out to the Brooklyn District Attorney because of something that he put forth out in regards to his not prison reform.
His program.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And I guess my lawyers wanted to put him to the test because they know all the work that I've been doing. So they brought it to his attention, like, yo, look, this is what this kid has been doing. What can y'all do for him? And he decided to write a 3.5 page letter, basically explaining to the parole board why I should be released. Basically saying that I'm not the same 16. It's
16,
clear.
yeah.
It's clear for him to see through my records, parole packets, and
That
other
you're
things,
not the
that
same
I'm not the same
individual.
16-year-old child
Grown.
that was incarcerated. Yes, so yes, he definitely played a major part in my being released from prison.
So when you seen that he, that he was on board and everything, how did that make you feel? Like, did it just give you a little bit more of a glimmer of hope? Or
Yeah, absolutely, because he's the top dog for the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office.
Okay.
It was the top dog that got me sent to prison. Not to say that I didn't commit the crime, but he played not him per se, but
the
the
DA.
Brooklyn District Attorney's
Mhm.
Office. They was the ones who prosecuted
That's
me
it.
for me to do that prison time. So
We have a studio audience member.
Yes, was they inclined to understand that a juvenile brain wasn't fully developed
the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office you speaking
Yes.
about?
in general?
Yes, they are. But all the parole board, they're aware of that, because at one point in time, people who got locked up at 16 and 17, they were just releasing them,
Mm.
provided that you're not displaying these same behaviors as you did when you first got incarcerated. So, and I don't know what the situation was with me, what made them want to hold me for those 2 prior parole boards, but they are very much aware of how the teen brain operates. And I think that's something that we've all known for years. But I think we just put this title on us. He or she is just a child. This is why they're doing what they're doing. So yes, I think they're fully aware of that.
Okay. Anything else?
Is that your issue?
Yes, I was locked. All right, they got it. Anybody, but they're trying to do according to the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office now, and it might go viral as far as going throughout the state of New York. They're trying to get anybody who's been incarcerated before their 18th birthday to be released at their parole boards, their first parole boards, or any upcoming parole board, provided again that they're not that individual.
They're not problematic
Exactly.
as long as they're showing.
And on that note, I read something about Satoya Brown Vaughn. She is the individual. I think she's from, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. I got an article from her. She was the young lady that she was sentenced to life in prison at 16 for prostitution, but now there's no such thing as prostitution in any other 50 states because it's now sex trafficking.
Mhm.
And they released her due to that same, because she had all her parole boards were denied. Every single one of them was denied, and the
But who is she
governor gave
hurting
her.
with prostitution? Why
She
would-
killed them. No, she
Oh,
was because she killed her job. She went there. Something happened. Something transpired. She thought she was gonna be killed, so she shot him 4 times. And then
she
left.
beat him
She
to the
murdered
punch.
him. Yeah, murdered him. She said she thought he was gonna kill her, so she killed him first. And she was sentenced with life without parole. And
But isn't that self-defense? Do you see the criminal justice system? It's crazy.
yeah, but they didn't say it was self-defense. They told, and she was 16, and they tried her as an adult, and she said she didn't understand what life meant at the time. She was.
She didn't
16.
even she just started her life.
Yeah, and she was
She
just
just got
released
potty
last
trained
year,
like 10 years prior.
and she
What do you
married
mean?
her husband in prison as well. But he met her through a YouTube clipping about her, because a lot of celebrities got behind the movement, and so now she has that particular bill. And I think only 2 states didn't pick it up yet, but there's no such thing as sex.
Prostitution.
Yeah, it's now called sex trafficking. So if that's something,
This is
that
my
she
thing.
did-
I don't even understand how a 16-year-old could be labeled a prostitute. She can't be she's not making decisions. She's in
not.
between a
She's-
rock and a
yeah.
hard place,
Yeah.
or has been manipulated, or like her mind.
Yeah.
She's been put on a production.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Them charging 16-year-olds as adult that comes from the I want to say the Reagan era, where a lot of young individuals committing crimes due to the influence of the older guys who was putting them under the gun, so to speak.
Mhm.
There was this thing where they decided to crack down on crime, and they took notice that a lot of people that's committing crimes is 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. So what they decided to do was like, yo, you know what? This was their answer.
And we're gonna lower it.
Exactly.
I get you, because the older individuals knew we could pimp out
Exactly.
those
It's not even so much that
No,
it's not so much that
even the drug dealers.
Yeah.
it's not even so much that
younger-
they could pimp them out. Is that they knew that you know what? If I get caught for doing something,
I'm going down.
I'm gonna spend.
But this
some,
person gonna go to
he
juvenile.
gonna get a slap on his
detention,
wrist
right,
and get out.
that's it,
So
okay.
this is what
And
made
that's
them
not
say,
the
you know
case
what?
any further.
And another thing for that, when they charge you as an adult at 16 years old, this is just my theory on it. You're only adult for sentencing, because the whole time that you're going through the whole trial proceedings, you're being held in the adolescent areas. So they recognize you as being an adolescent. They telling you that you can't smoke cigarettes, but you telling me that I could do life in jail
as an adult, but I can't
so
live.
for that one particular moment, for however long it takes for them to sentence you, you're an adult. Because right after that, again, you're going back into the prison system. You can't buy cigarettes. Me per se, they wouldn't do no dental work on me until I turned 18 years old. So it was like, you're just an adult, just for sentencing purposes only.
Wow.
We have another studio audience member.
Yes. In New York State, there's a different age requirement. You can be a juvenile offender, 13, 14, or 15 years old, charged as an adult. However, you will do your time in a juvenile facility. If you're 16, 17, 18 years old, and you be charged as an adult, you're going to do your time on Rikers Island versus the juvenile facility. The only difference between the two is the amount of time when it's time for sentencing that you're going to get. If you're 13, 14, and 15, you will do your time in the juvenile facility up until age 21. If after 16 years old and you show no rehabilitative measures that the juvenile facility will offer you, then they'll transfer you over to the Department of Corrections. And then that's when you do your remaining time.
Wow. But and I have a question with that. And all of this, the whole system, it says correctional facility.
Yes.
They're supposed to be correcting your behavior to like get you back into society, correct? So do they offer programs to these adolescents and stuff like that?
No,
We
the whole,
gotta answer questions.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm asking. So
I mean, my thing is, again, I went in at 16. I was upstate New York at the age of 17 years old. Them COs, they don't really care what you do and how you do it. For us, we self-teach ourselves. I made the decision. If I decided I didn't want to go to school, wasn't nobody going to force me to go to school in the system.
wow.
I was just one of the fortunate ones. Like I said, I came up north. I was 17. I got my GED immediately. The first time the GED test came around, I was fortunate enough. They put me into the class. I took it and I passed it. And I was, at that point in time, I was starting to surround myself with a lot of different individuals. Some that was still living a criminal lifestyle, some who had 30 and 40 years in prison, and they were showing me a different way. So, and it got to a point, again, it wasn't immediately. It got to a point where I made the decision to say, you know what? I no longer want to do this. This is what I want to do now. So that was something that I made. That was the decision that I made. There is nothing in this, they have a lot of volunteer programs in the Department of Corrections that most of which was created by prisoners.
Wow. Okay.
They don't have many programs. Actually, I don't think they have any programs that the Department of Correction has implemented that helps to rehabilitate people
What to correct their
Okay,
behavior.
or
Yes.
correct their behaviors. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Vaughn, it was such a pleasure having you on the show. We're about to call it a wrap, but I would love if you could possibly come back on
Yes.
in the near future so we can check on your progress and see what's going on with you.
Absolutely. Just send me the date, time, place, and I'm there.
Do you have any social media that our wonderful listeners could possibly follow you on?
Again, I just did 24 years, so I don't know how to tell somebody to follow or to know if you're following, but I got Instagram and I also have Facebook under Duva Banks, DUVA.
Duva Banks. So that's at Duva Banks
Yes.
on Facebook and IG. You've been listening to Sador Radio, Brown Girl, #We Got This with author Pamela J. and Miss LT on the station that's More Than Music. We have any shout
You
outs?
have any shout outs you want to do, Vaughn?
I would, I thought this time would come. I didn't really prepare nothing, so I'm just gonna say
Like it's the award. I
Attica,
like that.
Clinton, Comstock, Elmira. I can't name individuals because some people gonna get mad thinking that I forgot them. It's just too many of y'all. But I'm gonna, try to get everybody that I can. First and foremost, my boy Spank Peso.
Spank.
That's in Sing Sing. My man Light, Marvel, my big brother Pito, VA up in Attica, Wayne B. you know, it's just it's too many. If I
Shout out everybody
Yeah,
in Brooklyn
everybody.
that love them some Vaughn.
You
How
already
about
know.
that?
You
Mr. Popular.
already know.
KK, we love you. Thank you for sharing Vaughn for a little while. Thank you. You're the favorite.
Stop saying that.
I thought
Oh
that was
my
the best
God.
statement though. Like I want to be somebody's favorite.
But,
She's a favorite.
we want to thank you guys. Next time you see us, it'll be February, a whole new month.
A whole new month.
And it's a lot of things happening for February.
February is gonna be real big.
Versus Black History Month, but it's
Yes.
also the launch of the Brown Girl hashtag. We got this Brown Girl Day.
Brown
February
Girl Day.
23rd is gonna be a great, amazing event. So you guys stay tuned.
We're partnering with Tiffany of Royalty.
by design. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Tiffany is an amazing person. She's doing great things. So we're about to wrap up now.
Mhm.
So this is your girl, Arthur Pamela J.
Tiffany, yay! Hi. Thank you for
Royalty
all
by
our
Design. Thank you for
listeners
all
and
our
our
listeners
followers.
and
We
followers.
really appreciate you. We
Yes.
appreciate Vaughn. We appreciate our studio audience
Who is
our,
Cash
um,
and G.
and
Right?
G,
Yes.
our amazing engineer Rebel. We
Yes.
really, really appreciate all your hard work. Thank you so
And we're
much.
gonna end with my song, Brown Girl, the remix. Hit it.
That's funny.
What?
Swell.
Okay.
All right.
You know what? This one technical difficulties.
And we can stay live on YouTube
And
because
it's
we
my
own the
song.
rights to this song. YouTube.
Yes, we about
We
to do
cutting
the
people
video.
off.
We about to do the video, so we about to do casting calls for the video of February because we're gonna release the video the 23rd of February.
I wish you had did that when we were on the radio.
Dang.
Come on. We're not on the radio. You're doing it for your life. Oh, like Bilal in House Party when he was hitting the. You know I'm about to test it, right?
Don't do that. We run this.
It's not a record player. Hitting the table should not do anything. And you listening to this. I can't.
We live?
Yes.
It says live chat.
I clearly said, because this is your song that
Yes.
we own the rights to, that we can do this.
Oh man.
Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we're all still live on all this stuff. Did you have fun? I'm hoping that you did enjoy yourself. Cash, G, did y'all enjoy yourself? Did you enjoy the show? Oh, are you gonna be fans? You gonna check us out? Checking us out. I'm excited. Is it 7? It's 7.
No, we
Bye,
gotta take
YouTube. Vaughn, say bye. Enjoy your week, guys.
No. We taking pictures.
Keep
You gotta take
dreaming.
pictures. Yeah, enjoy your week, guys. Keep dreaming. I do.